What's going on there? I'm going to do a quick review. As we stated earlier, the dollar has a nice reverse head and shoulders off this little bounce. Following the trend, came up a few times. Now we're making a little pattern. I'm looking for the right shoulder to come down. As you can see, the 8's crossing over the 13. I got a double top. Make sure this right shoulder doesn't go past the line. But it looks like a retrace coming this way, bullish retrace. You can see the double top, you can see the crossover, the bearish retrace, the bearish retrace, the bearish retrace, the bearish retrace. And then today, it looks like a rejection off the 8. But we'll see what happens. Looks like it's on its lows so far. S&P, nice little bounce. As I stated yesterday, this has to get way back up in here above resistance levels in a hurry for me to change my mind about the reversal on the trend. Got a breakdown here. Encompassing. So we do have a little bounce on the daily. We'll see if this can't get up a little bit further. And then we'll have a V bottom at least. But you can see the double top, you can see the crossover, the bearish retrace. Now we got a V bottom, more like a flag. But the daily looks a little bit healthier, as we got an encompassing over the 8, into the 8, over the 13, into the 34. And then let's see if it'll hold. Or when it comes back, a higher low. See what happens. It's got a lot of work to do to get it back above these previous lows and ride the range. So it's at resistance on the daily. Same for the Dow. Outside day, over the 8, into the 8, over the 13, into the 34. Watch it come back into. Let's see if we can't get a higher low. Volatility on the daily. Remember on the weekly it was coming all the way back into support. Today we got a little kicker. So far, looks like a harami. Could be at a bottom. Watch for previous high breaks. Into resistance, opposing point, maybe build it. Follow the trend. That's the volatility. NASDAQ, same. It's got a lot of work to do to get back into the previous lows. Let's make sure we remember the weekly, the double top. Very ominous. Outside day. Bearish retrace, bearish retrace, bearish retrace. Looking for some kind of an opposing point after the rise. Maybe hold a higher low. Apple on daily doesn't look pretty healthy. They got slammed hard, didn't they? So crossed over, bearish retraced, rejected. Gap, 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 into resistance, into resistance, into resistance. I got a V bottom, maybe some kind of reversal coming. I got gaps to fill. Looks like it did fill the gap. It's going to fall into resistance, gap down hard, filled the gap, so maybe a continuation instead. Stay above previous lows to maybe set a different kind of trend. Because it could be a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Because it did get across the 8 and the 13. So it's got a little bit of momentum. Let's see if it'll hold. See how this pans out. Because it did get slammed down pretty hard. Maybe looking for a bounce. Crossed over into 2, 3, maybe a little bounce. Google looks a lot better than Apple. Gonna spike low into resistance. Spike low over the 34 that time. Spike low. Look at the 3-bar pattern there on that head. It's pretty nice. Now it's over the 34. The 8's crossing over. Maybe reversal coming. Over the 34, into the 34. Watch for some kind of sign on the intraday. Gap, gap, gap. Double bottom so far. See how that pans out. Looks like maybe a reversal coming. Looks pretty flighty though. Nikkei, nice little push. Double bottom. Outside day, over the 8, into the 8. Stay above the 8. Let it crush into previous lows. Look at that 34, into previous lows. Ride the range. Nice push. Nice spike low on that trend. Looks like a reversal's coming. It's a nice exhaustion move. Whipsaw now coming into support. So into the 8, over the 8, into the 8, into the 13, back in the 8. Splat, blah, 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 higher lows. Watch that 8 cross over. Work that bottom. 2-bar reversal. Over, under. Like crude, I think that we got to bounce off of that neckline. The reverse head and shoulders here. Pop. Double top into into support. Back on that neckline. The only problem is that neckline is pointing down. So is this going to follow the bouncing ball along that line? I was hoping a while back when I saw this reverse head and shoulders that would trend change. It did trend change for a while. Keep an eye on that. Needs a trend change, not a follow the downtrend change. on we go. Natural gas. Nice. Just shot out of there. Looks like it's coming into resistance, coming across the 34. Let's see if it hits that 34, comes down as the 8 crosses over the 13 to bounce and make a splash. See if that momentum will carry on some kind of a bounce back. Steel. Take a little push on the daily. Higher lows. Over the 8, into the 13, back into the 8, over, back in. Look for some kind of retrace. It looks like it wants to go sideways. It can go sideways all day long as that 8 comes up and meets it. But I would look for some kind of I got a hanging man here. It's sort of an accumulation. Got higher lows, higher highs. I don't know, watch it break out of that pattern as it looks like an accumulation. I'm gathering that it will come down to make some kind of an opposing point. Uranium futures does not look too tradable. And then take a weekly chart on that one. Oh yeah, I got that nasty candle on the weekly chart. So I'm looking for some kind of retrace. Looks like the 8 crossing over the 13 already for the week. It opened below the 8. So momentum might die. Bitcoin again. 2-bar reversal yesterday. Maybe a pop over. Hopefully the right shoulder's in now. Maybe a rejection into 3,300 range. Otherwise, we need to get back above the 34 and all the averages. Got a 2-bar pattern to start her off. So a little bullish, but still below support. Got to break that neckline. It's a beautiful pattern. Gold, I think it's going to retrace. It's getting closer by the day. I need some kind of a opposing point to carry trend. But so far so good. I mean, there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with it. I do see a reversal bar here. Little falling star. I think I mentioned the falling star back into support. On bottom trends. If that falling star was at a top, it would be sayonara. But when it comes up at a bottom, it means that it's going to be coming into support, wherever that is. So maybe we're doing just fine and just bust out of there. That would be just fine with me. But watch for breaks outside the pattern. But yeah, this is where my concern is, because it's too far from the averages. So what I'm saying is its natural course, when it reaches too far, it's exceeding the threshold. The elasticity is getting thin, and it just kind of rubber bands back into support. its natural course is always back into support. So when it reaches too high, watch it come back in. But if it wants to go sideways, let the averages come up. That's fine with me. But always look for that opposing point. Up and over. Stay above that 8 would be prime. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe a push before the... Maybe an exhaustion move before. I don't know. Let's keep an eye on it. Just know on the long-term chart it is far above... it's extended. That's all I'm trying to say. Silver, same thing. Silver came below the 8, back into the 8. So same as the bottoms, over the 8, into the 8, over the 13, into the 34. Under the 8, into the 8, over the 13, into the 34. So work a top, work a bottom. Key is that 8, and the trend is the 34. I got a falling star there. I got a falling star there. Anything could happen if it wants to go sideways again. Maybe let it ride. Let's see how far away it is from the 8 and the 34. I do have a nice little double bottom. I'm just looking for an opposing point, a bullish retrace. So above the 34, bullish retracing back into support. That's a healthy retrace. Still looking for it. I can't believe I missed the high on the gold-silver ratio. 86 point, let's just 86.5, let's just call it. 86.5 ounces per 1 ounce of gold. That is a treasure. I wish I would have saw that. I remember how high it was at 83. Now it beat the record. It's amazing, actually. I have a cross on momentum, so lower high, outside day, into support. Watch it come back into resistance and then fall over. Especially after all-time high there. I don't know, maybe it could just blow out. What do you think, 100 ounces per 1 ounce of gold? I mean, where's it going to go? It broke previous highs. Is it possible that this is going to go higher? That's crazy. Oh, I can't wait if it does. Copper having a little trouble. I do have a double bottom, but very ominous. Double top, outside day, crushed it. First retrace, second retrace. I would watch out for support not to hold. But anything could happen. Let's check out the daily. I don't know. It's got a reverse head and shoulders. See it? I do have a double bottom, and I do have a reversal pattern on the end over here. So I got a reversal bar here, an outside day here, the pop, and then into support. So let's find support. It's close. Gotta check the longer. I guess it could come down a little bit. I got plenty of support here. I got previous lows, previous highs, previous lows, and a double bottom on this pattern forming here. So maybe a reversal, maybe not. watch for support lines to give way. If that happens, coming down into the next line of previous high, previous lows. Interesting. Little GDX, I'm going to say that it's going to come down and retrace just like gold and silver. I need an opposing point. You can see the rounding top. I got a double top. So it came down below the 8 and 13, popped across, and then I had a 2-bar reversal, lower high. And then again. So watch this to retrace. Same thing, I got a double top, outside day. Now I'm closing on a daily below the 8. That doesn't, see how it rode the 8 all the way up? Now it's closing below the 8. Look for the double top outside day to carry into support. Same thing, JNUG.